Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reading the Red, Matthew chapter 5, verse 32. We're covering the issue of divorce and what it really means to be, as it were, divorced. Jesus is speaking in 32 and says these words, "But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except for the reason of unchastity, makes her commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except for the reason of unchastity, makes her commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." Wow. Two big declarational statements that Jesus makes to the disciples and to the people who have been applying the principle of sending a certificate of divorce to their wives. And what was going on was there was all of these divorced women separate from their husbands receiving one of these certificates. And Jesus is addressing this particular application of the law. And he's saying, you're implementing the law wrongly. And the reality of being married and divorced and separate, it seems to me that the Bible clearly shows us there are reasons to be divorced from your wife or husband. But here Jesus is dealing with something really different. He's trying to challenge this lackadaisical approach to abusing the law to create a subsidiary section to the law that will allow people to do what they want to do in regards to their relationship and commitment to one another. And so there's this kind of tension. Now, the reality of divorce is that God wants us to stay together. He doesn't want us to divorce. And that's God's highest value as it relates to two people being married. Once you've made a commitment, he wants you to be together. But the reality is, sometimes it doesn't work out. And so although God would rather, and that's if you like, his very best, the reality is that we fall apart from the best. And there are many issues in our lives, many rules and regulations, laws or recommendations, as it were, from Jesus that indicate his best way that we don't fulfill. And he's talking about marriage and divorce in this situation. And so for a minute, let's just cover it. God's best is to stay together. But sometimes the reality of the connection, we're just incompatible with the person that we decided to marry. And therefore, separation and divorce is inevitable. And does God see them people then as second-class citizens? No. Has the church presented that perspective often? Yes. But that's not God's way. God has zero tolerance on judgment, which means that he doesn't want us to get into a place where we basically segregate people and say, oh, well, you achieved, you succeeded, and you never, and then disregard those who didn't and embrace those who do. That isn't God's way. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son to save sinners. And sinners are those people who miss God's very best. And all of us have fallen into that category. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We have fallen short of God's standard. But that doesn't mean God disregards us. But these people, they were abusing the law with these subsidiary applications. And there were all of these divorced women all over the place. Wow, our time is gone. See you tomorrow. God bless you.